I'm aware that the music has a sort of meditative quality to it. I think that's a deliberate choice again, or maybe a subconscious choice, I don't know, in that music can be flashy, music can be technically, it can be all sorts of things, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's what you want it to be. And I think for me, that there's a certain soulful kind of, meditative, really reaching for something kind of more pure and less flashy, I suppose, than maybe could have been if I hadn't had this time to really think about what I like musically. What I'm always trying to do, in a funny sort of way, is to do less. It's that old expression, less is more, and to really try and cut down any extraneous, anything that doesn't need to be there, and to find the most elegant, simple message and say the most with the least things you can. And I love the expression as well, simple is not the same as simplistic. For this recording, I've really tried to tap into the central idea of each song and to find out what the emotional resonance of the composition is. What is it that I'm saying? What are the chords, the melody? What does it all add up to? And how does it move me and hopefully other people? And I'd say in compositions on this album, like Start Over, Dig Deep, hopefully those emotions will be self-evident, a mixture of reflection, meditation, sadness, I suppose. There's been so much loss around whilst writing this, but also sort of, without sounding trite, I suppose, but love and the warmth of having people around. I'm largely influenced by jazz performers such as Bill Evans, Oscar Peterson, Thelonious Monk. There's loads of amazing pianists from the past, going back to Art Tatum as well. And even Nat King Cole as well, it often gets forgotten about, who was an influence on Bill Evans and Oscar Peterson and others as well. But coming to sort of present day, I'm a huge fan of players like Brad Mehldau, and he's done so much in the solo genre, and British pianists like John Taylor is a big influence on some of my playing as well. I love listening to Beethoven piano sonatas, for example, and piano concertos, and there's a whole romantic music tradition as well that connects, I think, probably most obviously through Bill Evans, and the way that Bill Evans was influenced by Rachmaninoff and the kind of Russian composers. So there's a whole host of influences. The more accomplished you are as a musician, I would say, the more you realise that chops and the kind of technical demonstrations as a player become they don't necessarily say that much. And I suppose there is a sense of, yeah, I can do that, so I don't need to. And I think a good analogy again is to look to the world of art and someone like Picasso, who could paint amazing things. But that's kind of the point. You might have chops, you might have technical ability, but you may choose not to use them in that kind of predictable way. It's very important to find the truth in what you're saying as a musician, and that can be in terms of, in a purely practical sense, as a piano player, when I'm improvising, choosing notes that I actually hear and playing what I hear, and going where the music is meant to go according to what I'm hearing, and not kind of going for cheap entertaining tricks, which is very tempting to do. It's tempting to chase an audience and to try and get some easy wins, I suppose, but that doesn't mean it's you. It doesn't mean, well, me. It's not honest. You've got to do what feels right to you and what you really mean. The most important thing about music really is that it should move you. It should make you want to dance, it should make you cry, it should make you have any number of emotions, which I can't really sum up in words, I suppose. To the extent that when it comes to emotional resonance, I often talk about this in terms of even chords. You know, certain chords make me, there's a chord, make me think of certain emotions, and I think that is trying to distill all that into compositions and into performances, and trying to communicate that to whoever is listening at the other end, through whatever medium they're using. That's what it's about. It's this idea of telling a story and really communicating to somebody about the world as I see it. When I write music, the process I go through often starts with a kind of very hard to explain kind of mood, almost a meditation in itself, whereby my first response often is to go to the keyboard or piano and start improvising something which then becomes a composition. In a way that I don't necessarily realise before I start writing it what it's actually about. Because I think often with emotions you experience something and it can take a certain amount of time for it to filter through, process and become music as a composition, as a song. This is the first album where I have really been in control of myself in terms of the technical side of my playing, but also, I suppose, in a creative way, really trying to get to the essence of the emotions and the essentials of what the pieces are about, and to say the most with the minimum fuss, with the least excess fat, if you like. This is a discipline I think we're all trying. Well, I've certainly been trying for a long time, but it feels like something's happened with this recording, something new. Yeah. As a composer and performer, I feel that I am more confident now in what I do than I've ever been before. Could just be age, it could be having had some time to reflect on what I do and some time to really work on my craft as well. I was very conscious of making sure the album has a beginning and an end, and that you feel like you've been on a journey listening to it. And Plaisir d'amour and the idea of a fantasy to finish the album made a lot of sense, and almost seeing off in the distance as the notes trail off, the journey's over.